Imagine a landscape of sand and sky. On the horizon, three colossal shapes rise, the Great Pyramids of Egypt. For thousands of years they've stood as silent witnesses to history, monuments to human ambition and ingenuity. Standing at their base, the scale is overwhelming. These stone giants connect us to a distant past. The pyramids are a universal symbol of human achievement, a reminder that with determination, we can build things that last forever. The pyramids were more than tombs. They were the heart of Egypt's religious and economic life, a symbol of royal power and a bridge to the divine. Their shape symbolized the pharaoh's journey to the heavens, and their walls preserve the stories of an ancient civilization. The pyramids remain a time capsule, connecting us to Egypt's enduring legacy. The pyramids are the last of the seven wonders, standing as a testament to ancient skill and ambition. They connect us to a lost world, inspire wonder, and remind us of humanity's quest for knowledge. Their mysteries still fuel our imagination and drive us to explore. Our understanding of the pyramids is the result of centuries of discovery, from Napoleon's scholars to today's high-tech explorers. Breakthroughs like the Rosetta Stone unlocked ancient secrets, while new technology reveals mysteries still hidden within. The adventure is just beginning. For centuries the pyramids stood in plain sight, but their true story was shrouded in legend. That changed with Napoleon's 1798 invasion, when he brought scientists to study Egypt. Their work, the Description de l'Égypte, revealed a lost civilization and sparked Egyptomania across Europe. The race to uncover the pyramid's secrets had truly begun. After Napoleon, bold adventurers like Giovanni Belzoni descended on Egypt, driven by treasure and glory. Belzoni, a former circus strongman, forced his way into the Pyramid of Khafra, discovering its burial chamber, only to find it empty, looted centuries before. Though their methods were destructive, these treasure hunters unveiled Egypt's ancient secrets for the world. The era of explosive treasure-hunting archaeology eventually gave way to a more disciplined and methodical approach. This crucial shift was championed by a brilliant and eccentric Englishman named Sir William Matthew Flinders Petrie. Arriving in Egypt in 1880, Petrie was horrified by the careless methods of his predecessors. He saw them as little more than vandals and believed that a historical site was a delicate document that, once excavated, was destroyed forever. He understood that the goal was not just to find treasure, but to extract every possible piece of information, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant. Petrie brought the rigor of a scientist to the sands of Giza. He began by conducting the most accurate survey of the Great Pyramid, and the entire plateau that had ever been attempted. For months he lived in a nearby tomb, working tirelessly with custom-made precision instruments. He measured every angle, every passageway, and every stone with obsessive accuracy. His findings confirmed the incredible mathematical precision of the ancient builders, and debunked many of the wild theories that had sprung up about the pyramids. Petrie demonstrated that careful measurement and data collection were just as important as digging. His true genius, however, was revealed in his excavation techniques. Petrie insisted on recording the exact position of every single object found, from a golden amulet to a simple piece of broken pottery. He realized that the layers of soil and debris, known as stratigraphy, held a chronological record of the site. He was particularly interested in pottery, which previous explorers had often discarded as worthless. Petrie developed a system of sequence dating, where he could establish a relative timeline for different archaeological sites based on the changing styles of their pottery. This was a revolutionary concept that allowed archaeologists to date sites that had no inscriptions. Petrie's meticulous work laid the foundation for all modern archaeology. He trained a new generation of Egyptologists in his scientific methods, emphasizing careful observation, detailed note-taking, and the importance of publishing findings promptly and thoroughly. He showed the world that the real treasure of Egypt was not gold, but knowledge. His painstaking excavations at Giza and other sites across Egypt helped us understand the daily lives of the pyramid builders, the structure of their society, and honestly, the evolution of their culture. Flinders Petrie transformed archaeology from a treasure hunt into a true science, earning him the well-deserved title of the Father of Egyptology. While explorers like Belzoni and Petrie were physically uncovering the pyramids, another monumental discovery was happening in the quiet libraries of Europe. This breakthrough would give a voice to the silent stones and the civilization that created them. The key was the Rosetta Stone, a slab of black granodiorite discovered by French soldiers in 1799. It was inscribed with a decree from King Ptolemy V, written in 3 different scripts: ancient Greek, which scholars could read, and 2 forms of ancient Egyptian, hieroglyphic and demotic, which were a complete mystery. The stone was, honestly, like a potential dictionary, a chance to finally crack the code of the pharaohs. For over 2 decades, the brightest minds in Europe competed to decipher the stone. The race was intense, primarily between the English polymath Thomas Young and a brilliant young French linguist named Jean-François Champollion. Young made important early progress, correctly identifying that some hieroglyphs, particularly those enclosed in an oval shape called a cartouche, represented the phonetic sounds of royal names. However, he mistakenly believed that this phonetic system was only used for foreign names. It was Champollion who would make the final crucial leap, a moment that changed history forever. Champollion was obsessed with ancient Egypt from a young age and had mastered numerous ancient languages. He dedicated his life to the puzzle of the hieroglyphs. He theorized that the Egyptian script was far more complex than anyone imagined, a hybrid system that used signs to represent both phonetic sounds, like our alphabet, and whole ideas or concepts known as ideograms. In 1822, working with copies of inscriptions from Egyptian temples, he was able to confirm his theory. He famously burst into his brother's office, shouted, "Je tiens mon affaire," which means "I've got it," and then collapsed, exhausted by his relentless intellectual effort. The decipherment of hieroglyphs was a discovery as significant as finding a new pyramid. Suddenly, archaeologists were not just looking at pretty pictures on tomb walls, they could read them. They could learn the names of the pharaohs, like Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, who built the Giza pyramids. They could understand their religious texts, their historical records, and their poetry. The pyramids and temples of Egypt were transformed from mute monuments into a vast library of ancient knowledge. Champollion's breakthrough allowed us to step inside the minds of the ancient Egyptians and understand their world, their beliefs, and their motivations in their own words. The age of discovery at the pyramids is far from over. In fact, we've entered a new golden age, one driven not by dynamite and pickaxes but by pixels and particle physics. Today, we can explore the pyramids in ways that Petrie and Belzoni could never have dreamed of. We are now able to peer deep inside these massive structures without dislodging a single stone, using cutting-edge technology to hunt for hidden chambers and secret corridors. This new approach is less about physical entry and more about using advanced science to map the unknown, promising to reveal secrets that have been kept for over 4,500 years. One of the most exciting recent initiatives is the Scan Pyramids project. This international mission brings together scientists from Egypt, France, Japan, and Canada. They're using a variety of non-invasive technologies to scan the Great Pyramid of Giza. One of the key techniques is called muon tomography. Muons are subatomic particles created when cosmic rays from deep space hit the Earth's atmosphere. They constantly rain down on us and can pass through hundreds of feet of solid stone. By placing special detectors inside and around the pyramid, scientists can track the path of these muons to create a 3-dimensional image of the pyramid's internal structure, kind of like an X-ray. In 2017, this technology led to a stunning announcement. The Scan Pyramids team revealed the discovery of a massive, previously unknown void deep within the Great Pyramid. Located above the Grand Gallery, this void, nicknamed the Big Void or the Scan Pyramids Big Void, is at least 30 meters long with a cross-section similar to the gallery below it. Its purpose is a complete mystery. Is it a hidden construction chamber, a structural relief chamber to reduce weight on the gallery's ceiling, or could it be something else entirely, perhaps a corridor leading to the true undiscovered burial chamber of Pharaoh Khufu? This discovery has electrified the world of Egyptology and proves that the pyramids have not yet given up all their secrets. Alongside muon tomography, researchers are using infrared thermography to detect temperature differences on the pyramid's surface, which can indicate hidden passages or voids, and 3-dimensional laser scanning to create millimeter-perfect models for further study. Each new piece of data adds another clue to the puzzle. This technological quest is the modern frontier of pyramid discovery, a patient and precise search that respects the integrity of these ancient wonders while pushing the boundaries of our knowledge and keeping the spirit of exploration alive. The journey of a pyramid block began in vast Egyptian quarries. Workers using simple tools cut and freed massive limestone and granite blocks, sometimes with clever wooden wedges and water. These ancient sites, now silent, stand as monuments to the incredible effort behind the first Herculean task of pyramid building. Once a massive block was freed from the quarry, the Egyptians used wooden sledges and teams of workers to haul it, sometimes pouring water on sand to reduce friction. For distant stones, the Nile became their superhighway, with barges carrying blocks close to the pyramids. This was a masterclass in logistics, meticulous planning, teamwork, and ingenious problem-solving. Once the blocks arrived at the site, the Egyptians faced their greatest challenge, lifting them into place. Theories abound: straight ramps, spiral ramps, even internal ramps, but no single method explains it all. Recent discoveries like the Big Void hint at hidden internal structures, but the debate continues. Levers were crucial for final positioning, allowing teams to nudge massive stones with precision. Mortar acted as a lubricant, not glue, helping achieve the pyramid's legendary tight joints. The exact techniques remain a mystery, perhaps a combination of ramps, levers, and lost methods we've yet to imagine. The precision and scale still baffle modern engineers. The image of slave labor building the pyramids is a myth. Archaeology reveals a well-fed, skilled workforce living in organized villages near Giza. Workers ate quality food, received medical care, and were buried with honor near the pyramids. Many were proud artisans, not slaves. Some even left graffiti calling themselves Friends of Khufu. The workforce included permanent craftsmen and seasonal laborers, often farmers working during the Nile flood. Building the pyramids was national service, a source of pride and religious duty. They built not just for a king but for the stability of their world. The pyramids were feats of intellect as much as labor. Architects and engineers achieved astonishing precision, aligning the Great Pyramid almost perfectly to the cardinal points. They used simple tools, water-filled trenches for leveling, and astronomy for orientation. Scribes meticulously tracked resources, labor, and schedules, forming the backbone of the operation. Visionary leaders like Hemiunu and Imhotep solved countless engineering challenges. The project was a triumph of planning, organization, and human ingenuity. The pyramids stand as monuments to both divine ambition and human intellect. Pyramid construction sparked the rise of entire cities. The lost city of the pyramid builders was a bustling, organized hub supporting thousands. Workers lived in barracks, ate bread and beer, and formed a unique community united by purpose. The city was meticulously planned with districts for workers, overseers, and officials. After construction, the city evolved into a religious center, supporting priests and rituals for the pharaoh's afterlife. The pyramid city's legacy endured, transforming from a construction site to a place of eternal worship. It was a community built to last as long as the pyramids themselves. Life for a pyramid worker was tough but structured. Days began before sunrise with bread and beer, then teams marched to their tasks, quarrying, hauling, or setting stones. Each team had a specialized role, from masons to tool makers, all essential to the project. Injuries were common, but medical care was provided, showing workers were valued. After work, they returned to their city for food, rest, and camaraderie. They worked in 10-day shifts, followed by rest, forging bonds and a sense of purpose. Despite hardship, they believed their labor secured their place in the universe. They built not just a tomb, but a legacy. After the pharaoh's burial, the pyramid became a center of ritual and worship. Priests performed daily ceremonies in the mortuary temple, sustaining the king's spirit with offerings. These priests managed vast estates, making them both spiritual and economic leaders. Offerings fed the priests after ritual use, supporting a hereditary priesthood for generations. The pyramid complex was a machine for resurrection, its rituals ensuring the pharaoh's eternal life. For centuries, chanting and incense filled the air, keeping the king's memory and Egypt's cosmic order alive. The legacy of the pyramid cult endured long after construction ended. The construction and maintenance of the pyramids created a powerful economic engine that rippled throughout the entire Kingdom of Egypt. The impact extended far beyond the workers and priests directly employed at Giza. Building a pyramid was the ancient equivalent of a massive state infrastructure project, requiring a complex supply chain that involved nearly every sector of the Egyptian economy. From the farmers who grew the grain to feed the workforce to the miners who extracted copper for their tools, countless people were connected to the great undertaking, their livelihoods intertwined with the pharaoh's eternal home. The logistical demands were immense and required a sophisticated bureaucracy to manage. Scribes and officials had to procure and transport enormous quantities of materials. This included not just the millions of stone blocks, but also vast amounts of timber for sledges, boats, and levers, much of which had to be imported from places like Lebanon. They needed gypsum for mortar, rope made from papyrus and palm fibers, and fine alabaster for temple floors and statues. This constant demand stimulated trade, developed transportation networks like canals and harbors, and honed the administrative skills of the Egyptian state, strengthening the central authority of the pharaoh. The pyramid economy also supported a thriving class of artisans and craftsmen. Beyond the stonemasons, there were sculptors carving the pharaoh's statues, painters decorating the walls of the temples with intricate scenes, and carpenters building sacred boats to be buried near the pyramid. Jewelers crafted exquisite amulets and adornments for the royal burial, while potters produced tens of thousands of vessels for offerings and daily use. These highly skilled individuals were essential to outfitting the pyramid complex and ensuring the pharaoh had everything he needed for a comfortable and prosperous afterlife, creating a boom for the ancient Egyptian luxury goods market. Even after construction was complete, the pyramid continued to be an economic hub. The funerary endowments, the large tracts of land and towns dedicated to supporting the king's cult, were significant economic entities. They employed farmers, herders, brewers, and bakers, creating jobs and generating wealth that sustained the priests and their families for generations. In this way, the pyramids were not static monuments, but living economic centers that integrated religious belief with practical administration. They were a massive investment by the state that paid dividends for centuries, shaping the society, technology, and economy of ancient Egypt in ways that we are still uncovering today. The Giza Plateau is home to Egypt's most iconic pyramids, Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure, built as a sacred reflection of the cosmos. Their diagonal alignment may mirror Orion's belt, linking the pharaohs to the stars and eternity. This vast necropolis is a blueprint of ancient Egyptian beliefs, a city of the dead designed for the afterlife. The Great Pyramid of Giza, built for Pharaoh Khufu, is the largest and oldest pyramid on the plateau, an unrivaled giant of stone. For nearly 4,000 years it was the tallest man-made structure on Earth, and it remains the only one of the seven wonders still standing. Its mysteries continue to inspire awe. The Middle Pyramid at Giza, built by Pharaoh Khafre, appears taller than his father's Great Pyramid, an illusion created by its higher foundation and steeper angle. Khafre's pyramid still retains some original white limestone casing at its apex, hinting at the pyramid's former glory. Most believe Khafre also built the Great Sphinx, forever shaping the iconic Giza landscape. The third and southernmost pyramid on the Giza Plateau is that of Menkaure, the son of Khafre and grandson of Khufu. It is by far the smallest of the three, with an original height of about 215 feet, less than half the height of his grandfather's Great Pyramid. The reason for this dramatic decrease in size is a subject of debate. It may reflect a decline in the economic power and resources available to the pharaoh, or perhaps a shift in religious beliefs, with more emphasis being placed on the decorated mortuary temple rather than the sheer size of the pyramid itself. Whatever the reason, Menkaure's pyramid marks the end of the era of colossal pyramid building at Giza. Despite its smaller size, Menkaure's pyramid is unique, and was renowned in antiquity for its beauty. The plan was to encase the entire structure in stone that was far more valuable than the local limestone. The lower 16 courses were sheathed in expensive and difficult-to-work red granite from Aswan, while the upper portion was likely completed with the fine white Tura limestone. This ambitious project was never fully completed, as the granite casing was left in a rough, undressed state. This suggests that Pharaoh Menkaure may have died unexpectedly before his monument was finished, forcing his successor to hastily complete the work. The interior of Menkaura's pyramid is also complex, revealing several changes of plan. A descending passage leads to an antechamber decorated with carved panels. Beyond this, another passage leads down to the main burial chamber, which is lined with granite. It was here that a British explorer in the 19th century discovered a magnificent and ornate basalt sarcophagus. Tragically, this priceless artifact was lost forever. It was loaded onto a ship, the Beatrice, to be sent to England, but the ship sank in a storm somewhere in the Mediterranean, taking the sarcophagus with it to the bottom of the sea. It remains one of the great lost treasures of Egyptology. The most significant discoveries from Menkaura's reign came from his valley and mortuary temples. It was here that archaeologists unearthed a series of stunning statues, among the finest ever produced in the Old Kingdom. These include the famous Triad statues, showing the pharaoh standing between the goddess Hathor and various provincial deities. These sculptures display an incredible naturalism and serene beauty, showcasing the supreme skill of the royal workshops. Though his pyramid was smaller, the artistic legacy Menkaure left behind is immense, providing some of the most intimate and beautiful portraits of kingship from ancient Egypt. The Great Sphinx of Giza, carved from bedrock, is Egypt's oldest monumental sculpture, part lion, part human, and a symbol of royal power and mystery. For over 4,500 years, it has watched over Giza, its weathered face guarding secrets and inspiring wonder to this day. The Great Pyramid of Khufu remains a puzzle, with hidden chambers still waiting to be found. In 2017, scientists discovered the mysterious Big Void, an unknown space above the Grand Gallery. Robotic probes have explored narrow shafts, revealing sealed doors and more mysteries. The Great Pyramid is still an active mystery, daring us to uncover its secrets. Beneath Egypt's sands, legends tell of a lost labyrinth, 3,000 rooms hidden for centuries, described by Herodotus. Recent scans near Hawara reveal vast underground chambers, echoing ancient tales. And near the Sphinx, stories persist of a hall of records, a secret library of lost wisdom still waiting to be found. No discussion of pyramid mysteries would be complete without talking about the curse of the pharaohs. The story is famous. Disturb the eternal rest of a king, and you will face a swift and terrible death. This idea entered popular culture in a big way after the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922. Lord Carnarvon, the expedition's financial backer, died from an infected mosquito bite just a few months later. Newspapers around the world went wild, reporting that an inscription above the tomb's entrance promised death to all who entered. The legend was born, and it has terrified people ever since. But is there any truth to this ancient threat? From a scientific perspective, the curse is almost certainly a myth. The ominous inscription that newspapers reported was a complete fabrication. No such text was ever found. When you look at the statistics, the curse falls apart. A study of the 58 people present when Tut's tomb was opened showed that they lived to an average age of 70, which was perfectly normal for that era. Howard Carter, the man who led the excavation and was the first to enter the burial chamber, lived for another 17 years. The curse seems to be a classic case of confirmation bias, where people connect unrelated tragedies to fit a spooky and exciting narrative. However, there could be a kernel of scientific truth behind the legend. Ancient tombs, sealed for thousands of years, could potentially harbor dangerous dormant molds and bacteria in the stale air. Someone with a weakened immune system, like Lord Carnarvon, could theoretically be susceptible to infection from these ancient microbes. These airborne pathogens might not be a mystical curse from a vengeful spirit, but they could pose a real, tangible health risk to unwary explorers. Modern archaeologists are well aware of this and now take precautions like wearing masks and allowing tombs to ventilate before entering, just in case. Ultimately, the curse of the pharaohs is more a product of our own fascination with the ancient world than a real supernatural force. The idea of a powerful king reaching out from beyond the grave to protect his treasures is a thrilling story. It speaks to the awe and fear that these incredible monuments inspire in us. The curse adds another layer of adventure and danger to the quest for discovery. While it may not be real, the legend serves a purpose. It reminds us to approach these sacred sites with respect, not just for the dead who lie within, but for the incredible civilization that created them. From the sun-scorched quarries of Aswan to the star-aligned peak of the Great Pyramid, these monuments are more than tombs. They are a testament to human determination and ingenuity. The pyramids inspire us, bridging past and present, reminding us of our capacity for greatness and the enduring power of dreams. Our quest to understand the pyramids is unending. Today, science and technology let us peer inside these ancient giants, uncovering secrets once thought impossible. This is a global adventure, uniting people from all backgrounds in the spirit of discovery. The pyramids inspire wonder, challenge us to keep exploring, and remind us the quest continues.